Good evening to all. So, for today's session, we will start with a song that will be sung live for all of us by Shohini Chakravarti. This is a bright young soul from Sacramento, California. She'll be singing the song, the name of which is Rise Up by Andra Day. And this is from the album Cheers to Fall. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the song. All right, over to Shohini. Are you
Hi.
ready, Shohini? Good.
Yep.
Welcome. Thank you, Shohini. And you have a beautiful voice. The song is very meaningful, very beautiful, and you sung it very beautifully.
Thank you.
Yeah, we enjoyed it a lot, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed it. Thank you for setting the stage for us because you're going to talk about love, and love helps in helping us rise. It helps us rise to levels which we had probably never imagined before. So the song was very appropriate for today's topic. All right, so now we will start our main session. I'm glad to be back with all of you. I am Shwetank Agarwal, and I welcome all of you on behalf of Sister Hansa from the Sacramento Brahma Kumaris Center and the wonderful team that she has to help her. And I know several of you have come here, were here in the previous session last Tuesday, but for some of you, today is the first to the series. Yeah, I know I can't really see who is first and who's not, but I want to go over a few of the logistics, few of the housekeeping things first before we start the session. And so the first thing was wanted to let you know that through this session and through the future sessions, you might be hearing the word or the phrase Om Shanti quite a few times. For those of you who have ever gone to any Brahma Kumaris program across the world, this word will not be new for you. But um, let me at least give you the understanding of this for those who have never heard this before. So, Om Shanti means Om is I am, and Shanti means peace. This is basically a way to reaffirm for ourselves that we are inherently peaceful beings. And for me, it gives me the opportunity to slow down, to stop, and to reflect on who I truly am, to connect to the essence of my being, which is truly peaceful. And unless I experience peace for myself, I cannot then share it with others. So, in order to help the world, help the community, help people around me with peace, I have to first create peace within myself. And again, I cannot create peace unless I experience it. Well, and the second thing is, this is a series. The series is called as Mastering Our Feelings and Emotions. We will have this for two more Tuesdays with two more eminent speakers from India. It will be 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and for those who will be joining or those who are joining from India, it will be 6:30 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday, right? Because India is almost 10 and a half to 12 hours ahead of the US. Then I would also like to tell you a little bit about the Zoom. It is probably obvious to you now that you all have been muted just so that there is no disturbance. Pardon us for that, but we had to do that. And so if you want to say something, you are welcome to put it in the chat box. There will be someone monitoring the chat box regularly. So if you have a question to ask, if you want to comment on something, please don't hesitate. We want to hear from you. We want to make this session very interactive. We look forward to all your questions. We will try our level best to respond to them. Yeah. If not in this session, if not in the middle of the session, at least at the end. And if not in this session, it will be in the future sessions. We will try our best to get to them. And this Zoom has a capacity of 500 just in case. It looks unlikely, but just in case if it reaches its limit, just for your information, that this is also being broadcasted on Facebook and YouTube at this time. So you're welcome to go into those platforms and watch this, in case also if you have any problems connecting to Zoom. Now, if you look in the chat box, you will have information of the Zoom, of the Facebook live link, as well as the YouTube live link. All right. And I sincerely inspire you all to stay till the end, just like last time. I'm sure you, those of you who came last time, remember the beautiful meditation experience you had. And so we want you to have that too again. And at the same time, we will have an opportunity to listen to Sister Hansa at the end, because this whole program was her mastermind, her thought, and of course, with inspiration from God. So we would love to hear from her as well. So I sincerely request you to stay till the end. We will try to end on time. So I promise that we'll honor everybody's commitments and their need to go to bed and so on and so forth. All right, so now is the time for me to introduce our special speaker. His name is Professor EV Gireesh. He is a management advisor slash consultant, a motivational speaker by profession, and a yogi by passion and choice. Yeah, he first uh, has an undergraduate degree in finance, and then he went on to complete an MBA in finance and marketing. And this was followed not too long back by a diploma in psychoneurobics, which is applied psychology. And in the past few years, he has done numerous self development courses for many Indian government agencies as well as public and private sector companies. He has been a Raja Yogi practicing the meditation that is taught by the Brahma Kumaris for many, many years. He is a speaker, travels quite a bit nationally and outside the country as well. And so we are very happy to have um, Professor Gireesh with us. He's also fondly called as Brother Gireesh. So, Brother Gireesh, welcome to the session.
Om Shanti, Namaste, and good evening. It's
Yes.
indeed
Eh,
a great pleasure to be with you all. Uh, it's indeed a great fortune for me to, be uh, interacting with you all for the next couple of, hours.
Yeah, and it is very early in the morning, bright and fresh. That's when we are catching you. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in India,
So,
it is 6:35 a.m. in
yeah.
the morning.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
can be better than that? Awesome.
absolutely.
All right. So let's get on this wonderful theme that we have, mastering our feelings and emotions. And I was thinking, when I heard about this, I got very excited about this topic. And we had quite a bit of back and forth on how to approach this theme and how do we kind of break it down into smaller parts so that we can have all of these wonderful speakers like you on these calls. So I was wondering, did you feel the same kind of excitement when you heard about mastering our feelings and emotions, that theme? And if yes, what got you excited, if I may ask you?
Uh, to be very honest, I was really very excited when this theme was decided because what I have realized and experienced is that man per se focuses more on learning and acquiring knowledge about the externalities of life. It could be science, it could be social science, it could be humanities, it could be arts, it could be literature. And we spend too much of time, energy in understanding, in practicing, in learning those skills. But when it comes down to emotional literacy, we are at a back seat. There is no formal education of understanding what feeling is, what understanding of what emotions are, what is the primary emotion, how does it affect the mind and my body, and how does it impact a relationship, the community at large, and if I need to tell you, the impact it has on the entire globe, on humanity per se is concerned. So, I was really very happy that you all thought about it so that people can benefit out of it. And, the current challenge that the entire world is facing with respect to the COVID-19 and the pandemic, and we are all confined to our houses. And that's where I think it's a great opportunity for us to dwell into the understanding the power of emotions and feelings, and how to master it to my benefit rather than to my negative advantage is concerned. My emotions should not bother me, should not disturb me, should not pull me down, should not frustrate me, should not make me a sick individual. Rather, emotion should heal me, should empower me, should nurture me and nourish me. And I mean, I was really very happy that you all thought about, and especially Sister Hansa thought about, such a wonderful, aptly, I mean, very timely topic for discussion.
Yeah, because somewhere, this relationship between us and our emotions, instead of us being able to master them, we find ourselves slaves to our own emotions. So we
Yeah.
kind of have to reverse this relationship. And I agree with you, the current times and, in the past too, there have been a lot of different things that have happened. And if we still want to just focus on the present, it's almost like an emotional storm, yeah, emotional tsunami that we are seeing. Yeah, while we can call this as a pandemic, we can call this as an emotional demic or something like that. Maybe we can create a name like that, because there is a lot of craziness in the world out there. So yeah, I agree, this is the right time for us to discuss. And I was wondering, you have some PowerPoint that you would like to share with us, right? Is this the time you would like to share?
Please, please,
Yeah.
because as I mentioned about emotional literacy, so let us, try to understand. I'll share the screen, brother.
Wonderful. And you have the co-host abilities at this time, so you're welcome to
Yeah,
do so.
yeah. So just guide me and tell me whether you're able to see the screen.
Oh, absolutely. It's bright and clear.
Yeah. So, once again, friends, dear brothers and sisters across the whole of the globe, it's a very beautiful greeting from India, and we call it as Namaste. And Namaste was first, used in ancient India during a period of 1700 to 1100 BC in a spiritual text or scripture called as Rig Veda. And Namaste, if you break it into two parts, it is called as Namaste. Namas means to bow down, to river, and te means to you. So a very beautiful, lot of positive emotions, good wishes, a very beautiful namaste to each one of you. And Om Shanti, as brother was mentioning, Om Shanti primarily means I'm a very peaceful soul. So let's get on to today's topic. We will discuss it later and understand this very beautiful emotion of love. I call this as the elixir of life. It has certain magic. It is like a medicine to all of us, and it can really heal, myself and the whole world is concerned. So sit back, friends, relax, and listen to this, a very beautiful, small, what you call a session on emotional literacy. It is said, manage your emotion before they manage you. So, is it that I, the master, is able to manage my emotion, or as brother was mentioning, am I a slave to my emotion? Is is the emotion hijacking me and not allowing me to lead a very free and bold and courageous life? It is very well said, in the corporate world, in the business world, because I've worked in the corporate world, you are hired for your IQ, as I was mentioning, the intelligent quotient of how to get work done. It could be computers, it could be science, it could be anything where you are hired. It could be accounting, it could be any job that you do. But yes, we are fired or promoted for your for our emotional quotient, and that's where I think we need to understand the importance of emotional mastery is concerned. So how is this cycle of emotion and feeling takes place? And that's where we need to understand there is a link between our hardware, our software, our physiology, our psychology is concerned. So there is a stimulus, and it could be an external stimulus, it could be an internal stimulus. Say, for example, the current pandemic, the lockdown where we are not supposed to go out, and I create a primary emotion called as fear, and it's a non-conscious change of the somatic state. So right now I'm relaxed, I hear this information, that stimuli from the external world, that there is a dangerous virus circulating outside and we have been asked to stay inside. That can create this emotion called as fear. And the third part is what I call it as feeling. That can lead to certain changes or responses at the cognition level, at the social level, at the contextual level, at the evaluation. So what I do, I evaluate and I get a feeling of overwhelming. I feel scared. Oh my God, what is going to happen? Now I get a feeling of insecurity. So there is a stimulus and a primary emotion that I create, and a corresponding feeling is generated or I create. It could be related to any aspect or vertical of my life is concerned. So let's try to understand what's the basic difference between emotion and feelings, because in general, parlance, we generally, equate emotions and feelings, and we will try to understand emotions and feelings both from a hardware perspective, so, and the software perspective. So what part of the brain is responsible to create emotion? And that's called as the amygdala. And if you can see the green dot inside of a brain, that's responsible, because when you create an emotion, this area gets active. And feeling is the function of the neocortex area of the brain, that yellow big part you can see around the head. That is what is called as the neocortex area, and that gets activated when you have those feelings is concerned. So where is this process happening? At the software, because this is the hardware which will execute that emotion and feeling at the physiological level. So uh, the emotion takes place at the subconscious level. And there is a difference between, there are four minds, we say. One is the conscious mind, the second is the subconscious mind, third is the unconscious mind, and fourth is the supraconscious mind. I'll share it with you. And the feelings happens at the conscious level, and it can interchange also, because at the conscious level also you can feel the emotion and the feeling also, but the emotions are per se at the deep down level of a subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is very powerful. It is any time 100 times more powerful than the conscious mind. And that's where we say at times we operate on an autopilot mode. I know there is nothing to fear, but then I start sweating, I have palpitation, the subconscious mind overtakes the conscious mind. I know there is nothing going to go wrong, I'm prepared for it, but still I have that fear, because the subconscious mind overtakes the conscious mind. And what happens as far as emotion? It's a physiological response to stimuli that happens at the subconscious level. And that's where my amygdala gets activated. And what happens in the feeling level? It's the expression of the same emotion based on our learning, the new learning that we have, and the experiences of my past is concerned. So it's nothing but all about a balance. We have two types of mind, it is said. One is a thinking mind, that's what the brain does. And the second is called as a feeling mind. I mean, I put a picture of the heart, but it is not per se the heart, it is the software, what I call it as the mind. So if you try to see the interplay of all, I mean, the mind, the thinking mind and the feeling mind. So the feeling mind is emotional mind. It will feel, it will create those emotions. And the thinking mind will base its decision, or its feeling would be based on rationality, on what is called it as what is right, what is wrong. And in between, if I can establish balance of both my feeling and my thinking, my rationality as well as my emotion, then I can say that I am a wise person. I have a balanced approach. I don't get swayed by emotion, neither do I, uh, you know, rest my decision more on rationality and no emotions are concerned. So this is where I need to become intelligent. Intelligence is a very beautiful word. We need to be intelligent, we need to be smart, but are we really smart with respect to our emotions are concerned? And what exactly emotional intelligence is? It is an ability to understand, use and manage your own emotions in a positive way, to relieve stress, so that I face the challenges of my life, communicate very effectively to myself and to the whole world, to my family, friends, relatives, office people, my professional relationship, empathize with others, overcome challenges, difficulties, problems, and diffuse conflict. So look at the enormity of the benefits that you and I can derive. And that's where we say emotional intelligence is converging the idea from both the sides of the brain, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, the rational and the creative mind is concerned. So there are five components of emotional intelligence. One is self-awareness, and I'm very happy that before I could understand emotional intelligence, almost around 25 years back, when I became a part of the Brahma Kumaris, I came to Brahma Kumaris. The philosophy of Brahma Kumaris is very heavily focusing on to this particular aspect called as self-awareness as to who I am. Number two is to regulate. This is also a very important aspect. It's the controlling power. And today, if I cannot control my emotion, as I said, then my emotions would control me and take me to a very beautiful ride, which is not a very actually a very beautiful ride. And one of the aspect of emotional intelligence is to have intrinsic motivation. I unfortunately depend heavily on extrinsic motivator. It could be a reward, it could be award, it could be some kind of an appreciation by somebody, it could be a good words that, okay, fine, Girish, you are good looking today, you look smart today, and that motivates me. Or you speak very well, that motivates me. But do I tell myself that, yes, Girish, I am a good person? And that's where the whole problem is. We are not taught how to create intrinsically the motivation or inspiration, empathy, to understand others, to feel for them, and the social skills, how to live in this world amicably, peacefully, to make this place, this world, a very beautiful world is concerned. So what self-awareness is all about? It is the ability to recognize and understand personal moods, emotions and drives, as well as the effect on others of what is happening to myself and its impact onto others. What is the hallmark of people who are self-aware? They are self-confident. They have very realistic assessment about their strengths and weaknesses. They know this is one area wherein I'm not good, I need to work on it. And they grow steadily and slowly. They keep on building their self-esteem, their self-confidence, because they are self-aware. Number two, as I told you, the second dimension of emotional intelligence is self-regulation. What is it? It is the ability to control and redirect disruptive impulses and moods, and the propensity to suspend judgment and to think before acting. That primarily, in one line, if I need to tell you, it is being, rather than reacting to a situation, I respond. It is said it is always better to act rather to react. Reaction is out of control. Action is, I assess the whole scenario. I'm self-aware. I see the threats, the opportunity, the minuses and the pluses, and then take a decision. I think before I act. The consequences of my action, whether it will lead to the benefit for the self, for my family, for the society, for the world at large, or is it going to disrupt it? And the hallmark of people who have tremendous amount of self-regulation is they are trustworthy. You can really trust them. Why? Because they are non-reactive. They think, they are very sharp, and you can really rely on them. And they have tremendous amount of integrity on what they are as an individual and what they do. And they're open to change because they are always assessing themselves and bringing about certain control. The third thing is, as I told you, the intrinsic motivation. It's like it's a passion to work for internal reasons that go beyond money and status. People who are externally driven, until and unless they get money or status, they will not feel happy. Whereas internal motivation is something where I'm driven by an inner vision of what is important in life, a joy in doing something. I love talking. I love, organizing this program. It's not about money or status or getting famous. It is about the satisfaction, the inner peace that I get by talking beautifully to such wonderful, sweet souls who are listening to me. And it comes with this feeling of there is a curiosity in learning of who I am, what is this world about, why there is so much of conflict, why can't we live very peacefully, a flow that comes with being immersed in an activity. You have tremendous amount of concentration in what you do, and that's how it will result into success in whatever you're doing. And hallmark of these kind of people who are intrinsically driven, they have very strong drive to achieve. They don't get tired. They can work tirelessly until unless they achieve the result, and they feel satisfaction, they derive contentment out of it. They have optimism even in the face of failure, because they are not driven by the result, they are driven by the entire process. I love doing something whatever the result. And believe me, if you do something with a lot of passion, love, and integrity, it is bound that we would succeed in life. Empathy, it is the fourth element. It is the ability to understand the emotional makeup of the other people. Am I in any way, in the slightest of the slightest way, by mistake, am I causing them hurt, am I causing them pain, am I causing them little sorrow? Because I am emotionally intelligent, all my thoughts, my words, and my actions are also driven by the objective and the aim that I should always give happiness to others. I should be a very soothing personality. In no way I want to by mistake also hurt other. It's a skill in treating people according to their emotional react. If somebody is in pain, and even if they have made a mistake, I would be very encouraging. I'll be soothing. I'll be soft. Although I know the person has made a mistake, he shouldn't have made a mistake. He's responsible for the task that I've given. But still, then the hallmark of these kind of people is they will care for others. There is a wish, deep wish to soften negative emotions. If the other person is in pain, I'll try to soften the pain or the experiences the other person is concerned. And the fifth element is social skill. It is having proficiency in managing a relationship and building network, and an ability to find common ground and build rapport in the society, in the world, in the whole of the universe is concerned. And the hallmark of social skills, I mean, Hansa Ben and all Brahma Kumaris, brothers and sisters, are dedicated. I see them very, 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 uh, you know, uh, what you call efficient or proficient in this social skill. They lead change. They have tremendous power. They, without resources, without network, they can establish the network, because they are very clean from their heart. They are very, very clear if their mind is concerned. They have tremendous skills of persuasiveness and expertise in building and leading team is concerned. So these four, Tuesday's program is exactly a very good example of the social skill is concerned. And if I become emotionally intelligent, I become a master of my thoughts, master of my emotions, master of my feelings. And the outcome could be I lead a very meaningful and a purposeful, a very healthy life. overall well-being will be established. My physical health will be good, my emotional health will be good, my professional health, my financial health, my social health, my family life, everything will fall in place, provided I am the master of myself. And there are, seven, what you call, I may say, the process or steps. I'm so sorry, I'm loading you with one word called as self, self, self. And that's where, the whole problem lies. So it starts with being self-aware. It goes to the next step of exploring the self. Maybe I've not spent time with myself, and it moves to the discovery of my original self and understanding the self, then loving the self, bringing about transformation, and then finally becoming the master. So I'll drive you through these seven beautiful, what you call, self powers. First is self-awareness. It is the ability to focus, as I mentioned to you earlier, on myself and how my action, thoughts, emotions do or do not align with my internal, original, intrinsic standards of humanity is concerned. If you are highly self aware, you can objectively evaluate ourselves, manage my own emotions, align my behavior with the values, and understand correctly how others is perceiving you. So look at it, life would become absolutely beautiful and meaningful. Number two is what is called as self exploration. It involves, it's a beautiful journey. It involves taking a look at your own thoughts, feelings, behavior, and motivation, and asking why this thought, why am I thinking like this, why am I feeling that I'm not supposed to, my original personality is not like this. It's looking for the root of who we are. This is not what I am. Maybe there is a past experience, maybe there is a trigger, maybe I'm sensitive to it, maybe I need treatment for it, maybe I need to really work onto it. And if we have answers to all these questions we have about ourselves, that is where I think self exploration comes into picture. And what self discovery, it is, a light. It's not no darkness. It's not that I don't know where things are placed, I can't see very clearly. So it's a process in which a person is guided through self questioning and examination of one's own, again, thoughts, words, and action, in order to reach his or her own conclusions regarding who they are truly. It's not about what others say about me. It's not about what others think about me. It's not about their conclusions about me. It's not about what is the kind of image they have about me. It's about me. And what conclusions do I draw about my true self? Maybe I might have not done a particular thing in the right way, but that's okay. Maybe that's a mistake, that's fine, but who am I in the true sense? So a person gains a deeper understanding of his or her own self, the character, the values, and purpose in life, and what core principles are guiding us to take different paths along the way to lead our life is concerned. And the next is self understanding, is the knowledge or understanding of one's own capabilities, character, feelings. You may find that they are all overlapping. Believe me, friends, yes, it's very simple actually. You need not get too much confused about self understanding, self exploration, self. I mean, it's just that, very, if you look into the core of it minutely, then there is a slight difference. So without understanding ourselves first, it's like being on a boat left in the ocean without any paddle to navigate in the vast, ever changing water. So the external world is changing very fast, and I'm not able to cope up with the challenges, with the pressure, with the competition of the external world. This is very important. This we'll talk today in detail. I'll just wind it up very fast. Self love, it means having high regard for your own well being and happiness. It means giving yourself what your body, what your brain, and what your soul needs for the marathon of life. I mean, let us assume on an average we live for 85 years. 85 years is a huge, big time. So, what we do in between the date of birth and date of death is, will determine the quality of my life. And self love, it is a very beautiful, power if we can exercise it. So, the practice of self love is practice of nourishing yourself. So you treat yourself kindly, You don't nitpick yourself and criticize yourself and be abusive and be rude to yourself. To others is a different question. You should not do it. But at times we take liberty of being very rude to ourselves. We need some kind of a very soft talk with ourselves. Self transformation. This is very important. It involves going beyond the way you live. My life is based on survival, but it is not a very beautiful experience of love, peace, and happiness. So we are co-creating. I keep transforming myself for a better life for myself and for the whole of the world. You do this by using, how do I transform myself? By changing my thoughts, by creating the right visualization, by using soft, sweet, right words, and by having tremendous amount of faith on myself, on the Almighty, and the beauty of this world. Taking right action or a combination of all these things would help me bring about transformation. And if I need to tell you one line here, meditation is one of the greatest, powerful ways, and I call it as Raj Yoga meditation, which is taught in Brahma Kumaris. And the last one is self mastery. It means, oh, I'm so sorry. It means mm, taking full responsibility of your life. Mastery is usually defined as highly skilled or proficient in one or more areas of life. Like sisters, sang a very beautiful song. She is completely a master of singing. So self mastery takes this to the highest level. I enjoy singing. I live while I sing. That brings me to the beauty of experiencing life. It is a discovery of the inner guiding light. Self mastery begins with the mastery of your thoughts. Self mastery is the ultimate test of a character. It requires climbing out of the deep valley of our inner life. Sometimes we fall down and scaling our own Mount Everest, the highest peak on earth. We reach to that level. Beyond that, you need not travel anywhere. But what happens with this thought is that there are few causes of contaminated thinking. We have fear, we have pain, we have, we feel sorrow. Maybe one of the reason could be of the past experience. Maybe because of the self perception, the wrong image that I carry about myself, wherein I don't identify myself with my core personality. It is whatever I've acquired over a period of time that is causing me create wrong emotions and resulting into wrong feelings. This is very important. Beliefs, it could be cultural belief, it could be religious belief, it could be the beliefs which my parents, which my teachers, which my surroundings have given me, which may or may not be in association or in line with my core true self is concerned. And it is said your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. So if you want to establish good relationship, loving, beautiful, harmonious relationship with your spouse, with your parents, with your children, with your in-laws, with your colleagues, the underlining factor is what's your relationship with yourself, and that will set the tone. And it is said that one job no one can do better than yourself is being yourself. The problem is I have lost being in touch with my natural self. I am in the process of becoming somebody. And it is said maybe the journey isn't so much about becoming something or anything. Maybe it is about unbecoming everything that isn't you. So you can be what you are, meant to be what you are. And that's where I think mastering emotions is all about. That's what the gist is. So be yourself, but be your best self. And the best self is 100% complete with love, peace, happiness. That's what you are. So your greatest self has been waiting your whole life. Don't make it wait any longer. It's longing for your attention. It's longing for your friendship. It is longing for your care. It is longing for your love. And what I am doing, I am trying to seek it from the external, from the physical world is concerned. Emotions, there are three parts to an emotion. One is a subjective component, how you experience an emotion. And so when anybody has any problem, this is how we try to help them overcome a bad emotion. The second one is a physiological component. How is my body reacting? Maybe I'm fearful, my heartbeat will go up. I will try to breathe in, little heavy. I may have palpitation, I may have little shivering, my body temperature increases little, there is little pain in my head or any of body part. Can I sense that, so that I'm aware of my emotion? And an expressive or a behavioral component is how do you behave in that particular situation, your response, not reaction, it's response. So you create a gap, you think about it, everything that's happening, what's the awareness at the emotional level, what's happening at the body level, and how should you act in that particular situation. And emotions can really help us take the correct action is concerned. Suppose I am having that fear of how would I perform in an examination. So that fear, if you take it positive psychology, it will help me to study more. It will help me to concentrate more so that the result is good. So you're taking an action of being sincere about your study. Emotions helps us to survive, thrive, and avoid danger. If you feel danger, you will feel the fear, so that you will flee from that particular, the causes of danger is concerned. Emotion can help us make decision, as I told you initially. It helps us to understand other people. It helps others to understand me. It helps me to understand others is concerned. I mean, I'll not take much time over here, but I'll
Yeah.
just take half a second. Yeah, I'm so sorry, brother.
No.
Say, for example, anger is the primary emotion, and maybe the secondary response could be that I'm frustrated, and then my feeling could be that I'm feeling infuriated or I'm feeling withdrawn. So there are levels of emotions and feelings is concerned. And as I told you, I mentioned a lot of self. So primarily the self is I am a tiny point of light residing in the center of a forehead. Like you have a SIM card in your mobile. Similarly, there is a SIM card in this mobile called as the body. And the SIM card has beautiful, what you call, powers or charges. You top up your SIM card, a postpaid or a prepaid, there is already something very beautiful inside. And the soul is made of seven virtues: peace, love, happiness, knowledge, power, purity, and bliss. So if I can be aware of this, I can understand this, I can harness these seven qualities. And how do I do it? Connecting myself to the Supreme, because He, God, is the source of, He's an ocean of love, ocean of peace, ocean of happiness. And with His powers, I'll be able to bring about a transformation. I'll become the master of my emotions rather than being a slave. So, friends, be love, be light, inhale and exhale love every second of your life. Thank you so much. This was my initial little talk about mastering emotions is concerned. We can, you know, I can open the discussion
Yeah,
for
no, no, this is
Q&A.
wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, now we can go into love, specifically love, right? I think if you can close your, yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, I feel love is a very important emotion, and talking a little bit deeper on this subject would help our audiences right now. And I was thinking, if I go back into my life, I feel that love was, or love is really the primary emotion that has always nurtured me, guided me, and served me. And even when I came to the Brahma Kumaris, I was introduced to the Brahma Kumaris, like I'd mentioned in the previous session 20 years back. The feeling that I got as soon as I entered the Brahma Kumari Center was the feeling of love. And it's very interesting that, on one hand, the Brahma Kumaris organization is designated as a university where spiritual education is imparted, and in the West, it is designated as an organization, a spiritual organization. But for me, really, Brahma Kumaris feels like a family where, yeah, it's a sense of belonging, it's a sense of togetherness. So I feel talking a little bit more on love would help all of us. And I was thinking that in the world out there, there are a lot of misconceptions about love, and
Yeah.
along with those misconceptions, there is fear, there is anxiety, there is a lot of stress related to just this four letter little tiny word, love. So I was wondering, what love are we referring to in spiritual context, whenever we
Yeah.
talk about love, what kind of love are we talking about? Are we talking about this physical Hollywood type of love, or is there something else that you were initially talking about love too? So over to you again, Brother Girish. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah. See, uh, I also feel on similar lines of what you said, that there is a lot of misconception. It is one of the highly misunderstood words in the world. And when I speak about love, it is something which is very deep rooted. It is a part of my soul, and this deep rooted love is actually longing to find meaning and purpose to our life. So it's very closely aligned with life. It's a very beautiful feeling. And if I am in true love, that means I am living life abundantly. I am leading a fulfilled life. I am leading a life where the very basic purpose of life is, it's complete. And if I need to tell you true love, there is only one true love in the universe. And that comes after realization of the truth. This is very important. If I have to experience true love, the basis of true love is truth. The essence of a life is also truth. And it is one is the realization of the truth. Number two is the realization of the divine self and the supreme divine power. And if I need to quote Christianity, because I'll read a lot of books on other religion, it is said the deepest love, it is mentioned, it is unio mystica. I mean, if I need to use it in English, it is called as mystical union. It is, it is the final stage of the ultimate purpose of a human being. And the union is what we call it as yoga in, the yogic science is concerned. It is the union between the true self and the true supreme self. And when I am in union with my true self, I'll be able to experience love. And that experience of love is not something that is experienced through the sensory pleasures. And here is where I would like to bring about two beautiful distinctions about the misconceptions about life or love is concerned. So there are two aspects. One is called as life, the other is called as survival. And
Sure.
survival, basically there are three things required for survival. Man requires primarily three things to survive: so that I don't die, so that this body continues to survive. And number one, it requires food.
Yeah.
And food includes water and oxygen, so that the body functions happen. Number one is food. Number two is clothing. Animals don't need clothing, but man requires it, or else I'll die because of the weather condition. There is a certain amount of temperature in the body. If the external temperature is too low and the cold goes into myself, then I
Yeah.
may die. Number three is called as shelter.
Shelter. Mhm.
Yeah. So food, clothing, and shelter. This is for survival. But today I need a burger because the burger will only give me happiness. But hello, you can do it with common bread also. And that's where we sacrifice life. So my entire effort is to earn food, earn clothing, and earn shelter. So my whole objective and purpose of life is revolving around the basic, needs for survival. But there is a distinction between survival and life.
Yeah.
And to
And life
and
is love.
live,
Life is
no.
love.
I mean, yeah, in one way, it's
Yeah.
right. But life is an experience of fear or experience of love, experience of sorrow or experience of happiness, experience of the beauty of life or experience of pain. And that's where we are experiencing pain because I don't have shelter. We are experiencing insecurity because I'm all alone. I feel insecure. I am insecure because of the pandemic. There is job loss. The economy is not doing good. And what will happen? So I am sacrificing the experience of love, experience of happiness in the drivenness to survive. So what I'm trying to say is that yes, we need to focus our effort on survival, but basic needs is good enough. How much do we need to survive? But
Yeah.
in the drivenness to to get good things for survival, we sacrifice life. So right now, say for example, I know there is a job loss in scenario in the economy. I know I am held up in this particular two-bedroom hall kitchen flat in my city. But right now, for the next 2 minutes, can I go beyond these external stimuli? I'm telling you the process of meditation. And right now, I focus my attention onto my inner being, which is the truth, which is very divine. The original nature of my soul is love. Can I experience, as you mentioned, brother, that life is love? Yes, it is true. But can I experience it right now? Without seeing anything, what's happening outside, without thinking about it, getting carried away or hijacked by what's happening outside, or by listening to the news of the pandemic. Right now, I detach myself. And this is the purpose of life. It was not survival, because a person can survive with $500, with $100, or may not be able to
Right.
survive beautifully with 1 lakh million dollars also.
Right.
So it's not about money, it's not about externalities, it's about my inner self. And
Yes.
that's, as you mentioned, it is nothing to do, love has nothing to do with the body.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, in a
is
way we yeah, in a way we have to understand that there are two dimensions of our existence, the physical
absolutely,
and the spiritual. And we are
yeah,
constantly stuck in the physicality of our existence. But if we shift to the spiritual, spiritual is love itself. Yeah,
yeah,
we are love. And if we connect to that core of our existence, then we
yeah,
will experience love, right? And
absolutely,
that's why I guess there is this another misconception that people have, that there is fear associated with love itself. One is fear, and other is love, but also fear of love. Yeah, in a way, which we can call as attachment, if you will. This is a common problem for most people across the world, is
yeah.
what is love, what is true love, and what is attachment,
I
and
will give
and the confusion between the two.
I'll give you a simple analogy, brother. I hope the audience can understand. It may have certain Indianness to that example, but I hope you all understand. Very jokingly to the young audience, wherein they have a lot of misconceptions about love, because a youngster in Mumbai approaches me and says, "Sir, I am in pain because of love," and that forces me to laugh at the ignorance of that poor young man, that he does not basically understand. The definition itself is wrong. The platform with which he is trying to make his future, relationship with somebody very sweet, very lovely, itself is wrong. So if your foundation is not okay, you're not going to build a very good, castle out there. So if I need to tell you on a lighter vein, uh, there is a sweet in India which is called as gulab jamun. And if you can tell me something which is very common sweet in the West, please tell me so that I can use it if they don't understand what gulab jamun is. It is a sweet dish. I mean, if you
Yeah,
can name
it's a
something.
donut. Yeah, a donut in
Okay,
America. Yeah, a
okay,
chocolate filled donut.
okay, okay. No, something which is made of sugar. Please tell
Yeah,
me
it is
something.
made of sugar. A donut is nothing
Okay,
but sugar.
okay. So I'm
1,000
so sorry.
calories probably in that.
Okay, so let us assume love is equal to donut. It's as simple as that. Now, if you eat donut, you will not feel sour, you will not feel salty, you will not experience spicy. It's just not possible. So if you eat a gulab jamun here in India, it is bound 100% rationally, emotionally, socially, in all dimension. What you'll experience is called as sweet, because The basic ingredient with which the donut or the gulab jamun or a chocolate is made is sugar, and sugar is made out of sugar cane, and sugar cane is not made by you, me, science, religion, Americans, Indians, Japanese, technology, computer technology. No, it is a creation of the beautiful nature.
Yeah.
And sugarcane in America, sugarcane in Mauritius, sugarcane in Kolhapur here in India, sugarcane in Uttar Pradesh in India will universally and always sound sweet, taste sweet. Yes,
Yeah.
is that okay?
No, so
Now,
yeah, totally.
love is also like a donut. In any relationship with yourself, with others, with the world, with somebody, with my profession, with anything, if at any point of time I am experiencing pain, mind it, you are not having donut. You basically don't have a fundamental right to say that I love you, because if I say I love you, it will give me a sense of sweetness in the mind. So whether you are good, whether you like me, whether you cheat me, whether you disturb me, whether you hate me, whether you do anything, if I say I love you, period, I just cannot experience pain, agony, because I am love. I am always in my original, always, very important word, always in a state of sweetness. When I say I love, I ask people this common question: do you love yourself? Forget about loving somebody else. Do you love yourself? And people say, yeah. They look at me with so much of astonishment. I mean, this looks to be an not a so appropriate question. How can you ask me a question that I love myself? Yeah, I love myself. Then I say, if Girish, my name is Girish, if Girish loves Girish and he's always in a state of love, that's a state, it's an experience. Life is an experience every moment, from birth to death. And if I am experiencing right now, say for example, for the next half an hour, whatever I'm doing, if I am in a state of soul consciousness, primarily it is love, then for the next half an hour, I'm experiencing love, say for example, okay? And suppose for some reason my mind goes to my past, wherein there was something not appropriate happened, it was not not comfortable, somebody insulted me. So when I think about that right now, what is my state for the next half an hour? It is sweet, it is love. Even when I look at my past, I pat my back and I say, Girish, it's okay, it's okay, but right now I'm in love with myself. In love with myself means I'll accept. So where is this question of pain? When I exercise right over you, somebody else, that you should do as per my wishes, as per my wants, as per my desires, then that is expectation. Where is love? Love is I love you, period. And when I say I love you, it is being love, it is not doing love. Somebody asked me, Girish, how can you love somebody? Please tell me the process of loving. I said, oh God, I mean, again, this is not a good question. I mean, that's the very basis of our existence. Number one, when I say I love you, Shwetan brother, when I say I love the Brahma Kumari's family, I say when I love God, when I say I love my family, when I say I love my work, you know what it means? I am in a state of love, and then I am talking to you. So my talk would be laced, would be full of love. When I'm sleeping, before sleeping, I tell myself, Girish, today was a fantastic day. I mean, rewind all what went good, bad, it's okay, but I love myself. Right now, I'm sleeping with love. I am eating with love. Love is not something that I have to tell you, I love you, I care for you, I have
Sure.
done so much for you, you have done, you did not do it. Oh God, love is not something that you have to do. I am love, and everything else that I do, eating, drinking, talking, working, living, surviving, everything is love.
Yeah,
I
everything
am,
becomes an expression of our love. Yeah, and attachment in a way is some void within ourselves, some emptiness within ourselves that we are hoping that
yeah,
something else or someone else will fill for us.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so attachment creates fear, and fear is a negative energy, and love is positive energy. So both can't coexist.
I,
Sometimes I call this, as the Bermuda Triangle, yeah, where on one hand, on one corner of this triangle is love, on the other is attachment, and the third is responsibility. Because often people confuse this a little bit between love, attachment, and responsibility, as to how should we be able to love somebody, not get attached, stay detached, and yet be able to fulfill our responsibilities. So you want to say something on that?
Yeah, yeah. I would like to add what you said about the Bermuda Triangle. I'll share my experience just in a minute. I think we are running short of time. Um, uh, there happened one experience in my life that almost around 14, 15 years back, my mother was detected with cancer, and it was very sudden and it aggravated. The doctors in one of the town, in one of the cities, couldn't understand it. They operated on my mother, and finally it got more worse, and finally we came to know that it is cancer, and we brought her to Mumbai, in one of the best hospitals in Mumbai called as the Tata Memorial Cancer Research Hospital. And the doctors, when I met the doctor for the first time, he said, "What kind of a son you are? You are bringing your mom too late, because now the cancer has spread to the entire body. Now we cannot do anything. We'll put her on to radiation and chemotherapy." And I think so that the doctor said she will not be able to survive one sitting of chemotherapy. 3 months, the doctor gave me 3 months. And thanks to my Brahma Kumari's orientation, the orientation and basing all my decision onto the fulcrum was the soul, the inner self. So I said, "Doctor, thank you so much. It's okay. I have only one wish, that you do your best." He said, "Yes, Gireesh, I will do my best." I contacted the Almighty, the meditation, and he gave me a reply. I said, "I have only one wish for my mother. Whether she survives for next 24 hours or for the 3 months, it's not important. It's not in my hand. It's not in nobody's hand. But howsoever long she survives, her quality of life should be good. She should not, be writhing in pain. She should not have a frustrated one day also, even if she has so much of pain. I want her to lead a good quality life. 24 hours, that's good enough." So God said, "Fine. But what am I supposed to do?" I was not very clear. And he gave a reply in his godly version: "Girish, sweet child, always keep smiling." And that clicked me. And I started smiling with her. We started enjoying with her. We started telling people, if you want to speak to a cancer patient, there is nobody in my family. But if you want to speak to my mom, yeah, she's there. We stopped looking at her as if she's a cancer patient. Responsibility, you said, it is the ability of a person to respond in a situation where everything is not in my control. And then we left that fear, that okay, fine, it can happen that I can die before she leaves her body. I mean, it can happen to anybody. Why unnecessarily create fear because of certain myths about death? I mean, death is in nobody's hand. We cannot control it. Life is uncertain. And then we shifted our fear and our response to that, difficult situation with love. We started enjoying, we started celebrating. And Shwetang bhai, you won't believe, I don't have any proof for that, she went on to survive for 3 long years. The
Yeah,
doctors were surprised that,
yeah,
I mean, how is her body responding? How is she recovering? I mean, we thought that she will not be able to tolerate one sitting of chemotherapy. Love has such profound power of healing. All it requires is the right approach towards anything in this world,
right.
without fear, and it can heal. It can create magic,
Yeah,
in the
I agree. I agree. So true love really is unconditional, right?
absolutely.
Nothing in return. Yeah, that
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what I get from the other person. I'm here to give. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is the quality
and
of giving.
and yeah, and the religion of love, whether somebody believes in it, non-believers, believers, it will embrace everybody. It will not discriminate. It will, welcome everybody, even plants, animals, people of different race, caste, creed, nationality, irrespective of all the differences. If I'm loved, I can sense, because everybody at the core is longing for self, because I'm made of self. And it will not look at the physicality or the nationality or the gender. It will really embrace the whole world, and that's the need of this particular hour.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I like how you said it is non-selective. You know,
absolutely,
I'm reminded of long back. I had read a book by Khalil Gibran, and this is the name of the book is The Prophet, and where
yeah,
he was sharing that like an apple tree or any other tree in the orchard doesn't even ask the person who is coming to pick fruits from the tree
yeah,
whether the person even deserves it or not. It
yeah,
doesn't ask anything. Yeah,
yeah.
to the
And
extent that nothing, that whether you deserve it or not, that too is not a question for the apple tree. It just gives. And so
I
true
will
love, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I will tell you about one apple tree. It was our very sweet Dadi Janki ji. When she came to London, she had no money. She had no idea about the Western culture. She did not know English. And when she started the Brahma Kumaris in the year 1974, I was reading her book. And whereas a lot of foreigner brothers sisters, when they came, they didn't like the setup where with a lot of Indian pictures, but they only had one statement to say. They could experience one pull from Dadi. They could experience that unconditional love. That small heighted sari clad, very simple, hairs open. I mean, she had some mystical power, and they stayed back. They didn't like the setup, they didn't like everything, but they had that magnetic attraction from Dadi. And Dadi said, I had only one power with me, that to love, love everybody, irrespective of whosoever they are, whether they're black, they're white, they're rich, they're poor. And people could experience it, as you mentioned. One, orchid tree, which really expanded the global, spread of the Brahma Kumari's knowledge. And it is only because of Reverend Rajyogini Dadi Janki ji. And she was a very wonderful, loving personality, believe me. I have
Yeah.
experienced the power of love when I was with
Yeah,
her.
yeah, we have experienced it too, fortunately. Yes,
Yeah,
awesome. So I guess since we are getting close, I was thinking that we could move on to, many times people have this question of why love, and we have touched upon it. You have talked quite a bit on that. But there is this whole element of healing aspect of love, right? And so I was thinking if we could go a little deeper into that on one hand, yes, we hear about this, and sometimes it almost becomes hypothetical that we love everyone, love our neighbors, love the whole of humanity, love nature, love God, love all that. But why? Why in the first place? Yeah,
yeah,
this is something that sometimes people think.
yeah,
So
yeah,
love does heal. So if you would like to talk a little bit about the healing ability
yeah,
of love.
yeah. You may get more deeper perspective from the next two sessions, because they are medical doctors there. But I'll touch upon one thing. There is a close connection between mind and body. So whatever the mind thinks, and the kind of feelings and emotions that I generate, either positive or negative, let us categorize into two. Let us assume it is love or hatred, or peace or fear, or maybe um, happiness or sorrow. Now what happens is that the moment you experience it, you create that. What happens is that it's like a computer. You in your computer, there is a printer attached to it. You give a commandment to take a printout. The printer does not have any intelligence of its own. Whatever is programmed, it will execute. So control P, enter whatever is on your screen. If there is a paper, there is a cartridge, there is electricity, your network connection is okay, it will execute it. It will not tell you, oh, no, 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 Mr. Gireesh, you are taking a printout which you have already taken, it is waste of,
Sure.
you
Yeah.
know no, it will not. Similarly, the heart, the lungs, the entire body is a hardware, and it is controlled by certain software. Like your heart is continuously beating, there is a programming, there is a by default factory setting to this beautiful machine, which you
Right.
cannot replace with something else.
Right.
So now the software happens to be love, peace, happiness, or vis-a-vis it could be fear, hatred, anger. So the kind of emotions I generate, now it gets translated. There is an interface. So control C, I want to take a printout. The computer does not understand Hindi English, it understands zeros and one, right?
Right.
So
So whatever
similarly,
programming you do here is what the body responds to.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
if I am in a state of love, it releases very beautiful powerful hormones like dopamine, like oxytocin, like
yeah,
serotonin, like endorphins, and they are chemically isolated and tested in laboratories,
right.
and it is found that they are 10 times more powerful than morphine. Now
Yeah.
morphine is a drug. Now
Yes, a
love
synthetic
is
drug.
a, yeah, it is,
Yes.
love is 10 times more powerful than morphine,
Yeah, it's
which will,
free.
it's
It's
free.
free. Yeah, and
There
no
is a
side effects.
yeah, brother, there is a pharmaceutical industry inside you,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
we are depending on the external medicines,
Right.
but there is something which is an inbuilt healing, doctor, invisible doctor inside you. So the moment I am operating my life out of true love, where I accept others, where I let go my past, where I forgive others, now love becomes the core emotion. And if I'm operating it, it will release these good hormones, growth
Right.
hormones, lot of hormones, and it will nourish your body, it will heal your body, it will protect your body, it will create immunity, enhance the immunity so that I
Yeah.
become physically healthy.
Healthy too. Right. I
Number one.
agree with you.
And
Yeah, and as we are getting a little close to the next part of it, I just wanted to say that I always get reminded of this beautiful, beautiful thing that Carl Menninger, a very famous psychiatrist from Kentucky, he belongs to a family of psychiatrists. He did a lot of work in all of this mind and actually in the area of qualities, virtues, values, and so on and so forth. And he said very beautifully that love heals both the ones who gave it and the ones who receive it. So if
absolutely,
I want to heal myself and I want to heal people around me, I have to create love within myself. Yeah, I really like that. And I also want to say something about many people often think that when you kind of want to express love, you've got to do big things. Yeah, love always only translates into big things. And if you don't do big things, you don't have love. And then I also am reminded of what Mother Teresa said, yeah, that you can't really do big things in life, but you can do small things with big love. Yeah, so
yeah,
if we create love within ourselves, even the smallest things that we do become big. Yeah, so that's
absolutely,
wonderful. We so much appreciate your sharing, Brother Girish. And
yeah,
so I guess now I will invite Dr. Kanishta to come on. And she is going to take us through the meditation experience. I guess the way Brother Girish just shared with all of us, he gave us a little bit of taste of meditation as well. But we will get more of it now through Dr. Kanishta. Welcome, Dr. Kanishta.
Om Shanti. Greetings of love to everyone. And thank you, Brother Girish, for this beautiful understanding of love that is so much needed. Like you said, that the basis of experiencing love, true love, is the knowledge. Unless we understand who we are, we won't be able to really experience that true love that we are looking for. And meditation is such a beautiful tool that we can use to go within and experience this energy of love. So let's together take this journey to experience this beautiful energy. It is said that God created all of us in His own image, and that image is our true image of love. So in this meditation, we will make this conscious effort to go within, to appreciate our true divine self. And that is the image of love. So for a few moments, set aside all your physical identities and connect to the very core of your true existence. Gently draw your attention to the center of your forehead and visualize a spark of light here. This is your true identity. You are a being of love. Take this moment to observe this beautiful image that God created for you. And you can see this image only when your mind is clean and clear. So take this moment to wipe away all the layers of dust that might be covering your mind in the form of past thoughts, false perception of yourself, or any wrong beliefs. Just let them go and cleanse the mirror of your mind thoroughly and bring yourself to this present moment. And observe your true self very closely. This spark of light is radiating immense energy of love, that real love, that authentic love, that pure love. Take a moment to feel this energy. As this energy begins to flow in your mind, your body also begins to receive this lovely energy. Every cell of your body is getting healed with this energy of love. And as you begin to feel this beautiful energy of love, in this sacred space, visualize as if God's light is entering your mind. His pure divine love is such a powerful magnet towards which the soul is naturally and easily attracted. In this space, soul can come close to God. The company of God empowers the soul and fills the soul with that pure love. God is the ocean of love. Just like fresh, cool breeze can only be experienced close to ocean. Similarly, pure divine love can only be experienced in the close company of God. So take this moment to refresh yourself with God's love. God's love is like nectar that heals the soul, perfect medicine for the soul. This is your time to swim in the ocean of love. And as you keep swimming here in this ocean, you can also sip this nectar. Soak yourself in this sugary syrup of love. Soak it in and absorb it. This is your time to heal yourself with God's love. And as you continue to receive God's love, you become like a conduit. And you start to share this love with everyone else. Through you, God's love is now flowing outwards into the world, helping other souls also to experience this pure divine love. And now there is tsunami of love everywhere. This world is getting flooded with God's love. God's love is healing this world. And it all started with just one single thought of love. You are love. You are love. You are love. Om Shanti.
Shanti. Thank you. That meditation was totally out of the world. appreciate that. Yeah, so I was able to ask some of the questions that came to me directly, but maybe not take all of those questions that came on the chat. I apologize for that. I know Brother Gireesh has a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of insights, which we can take the whole night through this. And but we need to stop now. I just want to share one thing that Dr. Vicky has said in here, that as Rumi said, love is the bridge between you and everything. So thank you for sharing. And now I invite Sister Hansa to share her thoughts with all of us. After that, I'll have some announcements. So please stay on. Thank you. Welcome, Sister Hansa.
Om Shanti. Everyone's face is smiling with the experience of love. Love is a nectar. And if we focus on the nectar, then we can be protected from everything else. And Brother Gireesh and both the doctors have tried to help us that finally the love is something within. And so I remember one story that I will share, short version, that one person was trying to find the key down below the street light. And he spent more than enough time, and the neighbor was watching and came and asked, "Can I help you?" He said, "I'm finding the keys." And he also tried to help for some time and couldn't find. So he said, "Did you lose your key here?" He said, "No, I didn't lost my key. I didn't lose my key here. Where did you lose it?" "Oh, I lost there." "Why are you not going to find there?" "There is a darkness. There is no light. So I'm trying to find down below the light." So in our life also, it happens that way, that we have to go within, and sometimes we feel, I don't know where is the light that I can go within, or how I can turn on my light within. And so these experienced brothers and sisters have shared that whatever way is only the solution, we have to go within, and we have to find our own treasure store. Because no matter how much you try, with whomsoever you try, in whatever way you try, you will be not feeling totally fulfilled with any love that comes from outside. And if you don't feel love, then there are so many other things come that makes our life little different. So it's a time to just discover. And I think today's session helped us to come to that conviction, come to that understanding and realization, and wish you all very, very self-love life, total love life, and enjoying it. You don't need to give love, and you don't need to ask love. That's so beautiful. You are free, totally liberated. But you just need to be love. Feel love within yourself, and then everything will follow automatically. It's a default system. So today, we all will ready to experiment that. And next week, we will be on another journey. Om Shanti. And good evening here, good morning in India, and total good night on East Coast.
Thank you, Sister Hansa. That was so beautiful what you said. It's a default system that you don't have to give love, you don't have to ask for love, and you just have to be love, and everything will fall in its own place, the right place. Thank you so much. That was something that was intense, and I'm going to hold on to that, right? Isn't that
Yes, and
something?
I will request all the participants to wave the hand and say thank you to all the organizers and our speaker. Can
Yes.
we clap so, or wave
Yes,
your
thank
hand with your video, or yes,
Yes, you can make it gallery view, and that way, yes, so many people are waving their hands. Thank you very much. We
right,
appreciate,
yes, very good, right.
we thank you all for coming. We really
Right.
appreciate everyone's presence. We appreciate Brother Girish, who spent his valuable time with us, sharing his insights. And I also want to thank the IT support team that has behind the scenes helped quite a bit in making this so smooth. Also, I want to say that just a couple of minutes, please don't leave yet. I want to share a slide, just a quick moment, to give you some information about the course, the meditation course, the Raj Yoga course. And here it is. So, Sister Hansa is starting a Raj Yoga meditation course, which we have been talking about all throughout. It's a free course, and it will be in three languages: Punjabi, Hindi, and English, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you want to take a picture, a screenshot of this, that will be great. Or this has already been posted in the chat box. So, 4 consecutive Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right, 5 to 6:30 p.m. This is Pacific time. All right, so Mondays it'll be Punjabi, Wednesdays it will be Hindi, and Friday it will be English. And this is the contact information, email address. And please, if you, Sister Hansa has requested that text or WhatsApp only to this number, 916-717-7281. All right, and if you don't live in Sacramento area, she will also guide you to wherever you live, whatever the closest meditation center is. All right. So with this, we're going to end, but also want to say that next Tuesday, we'll have another wonderful speaker from India, a doctor, a cardiologist, and we will be exploring forgiveness. Yeah. And it's going to be an interesting session. We look forward to having you all there, and just learning more on these wonderful values, virtues, qualities. Yeah. All right. Once again, thank you. Good night and Om Shanti.
One more thing that some people have certain questions. So maybe we can send it to Girish Bhai and he can reply, or whatever way we can communicate. Kanishta Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. We can make
right.
that
Something
happen.
like
Yeah.
yes.
I
Yes.
can share, I mean, Shwetang Bhai and Kanishtaban has my email ID. If you can forward it to them, they can ask the question and I'll be more than happy to reply to the queries.
Right. So, Dr. Kanishta, would you be able to go into your email address? I mean, get his email address, or maybe, brother, you could type
I
in
can,
the chat box for
okay.
everyone. Yes.
Yes, right. For chat on everyone, right.
That's awesome. And one more thing is, want to acknowledge somebody else who has written here. The person's name is Wilhelm. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. You've said your task is not to seek for love, which is very similar to what Sister Hansa said, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Again, said by Rumi. All right, that's it, I guess. I hope I have not missed anything else. Once again, thank you and Om Shanti.
Yeah. And the